Hey everybody, how you doing? It is Mr. Bookman, and I will be reading Too Many Leprechauns by Stephen Krensky and illustrated by Dan Andreasen. Please enjoy. Too many leprechauns. Finn O'Finnegan looked like a rube and walked like a rascal, so it was widely thought he was at last one of the other, and his shoulders, which followed him closely and knew all his secrets, might have said he was both. And his shadow. But when Finn returned home to Dingo after a year in Dublin, he was only looking to rest his feet and grow fast on his mother's soda bread. The village looked much as he left it. The stone walls a bit wobbly and houses leaning into the wind, and yet something was clearly amiss. At his own house, Finn was surprised to find his mother cleaning up broken dishes with a broom. Mrs. O'Finnegan let out a great yawn. "So here you are, Finn, and it would be glorious to see you if only I could keep my eyes open. But the leprechauns are everywhere, making fairy shoes that are infernal tapping. None of us have slept in weeks." At the moment, Finn heard a steady tap, tap, tap in the yard. He stepped outside to investigate. In the garden, a leprechaun named Dob was hard at work. Tap, 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 tap. "Good day," said Finn. Dob scowled at him. "It's a busy day, to be sure. The more shoes I make for the fairies, the more gold I get, and nothing is more important than gold." Now, Finn had some experience with leprechauns, and he chose his words carefully. "A wise lookout, if you're not mistaken, though you might have missed a stitch." Dob dropped his hammer, missing a stitch. He wagged a finger at Finn. "Fancy yourself as an expert can do. Come with me." Dob led the way to a second leprechaun named Watto. He too was making shoes. A dainty pair with silk flowers lining the sides. What say you to these?" asked Dob. Was Watto missing a stitch too? Finn rubbed his chin. "Well, his shoes are fine, assuming they'll only be worn in the dark." "In the dark?" cried Watto. where no one could see them? Finn explained. Both leprechauns turned a deep shade of red. The next day, Dob dragged Finn to hit 3 more leprechauns, and the 4 more the day after that. By weekend, Finn had seen shoes of every size and style, and for each flaw, or defect that he mentioned, the eager the leprechauns became. Leprechauns are sensitive, Finn emphasized to his mother. And greedy too, she added, but don't put my heart crossways by taking too many chances. There was a knock at the door from Dob. You're just in time for tea, said Finn. Dob snorted. It's not tea I'm after, it's you. Follow me. Dob led the way to a field where all of his leprechauns stood, waiting. As Finn approached, they moved back slowly to reveal a giant pile of gold. We hardly could have gained all this, said Dob, if our shoes were not the finest of their kind. Impressive, said Finn. He could see that the leprechauns loved their gold dearly, so dearly that it just might be their undoing. Perhaps, Finn went on, if I saw all your shoes together, I might change your mind. Yes, the leprechauns agreed. They were sure that would make all the difference. Tomorrow morning, we will bring the shoes to the village square, they promised. Finn nodded. I'll be counting on you, he said. The gray dawn greeted the leprechauns as they arrived with their carts, burros, sacks, and bundles. The shoes were unpacked and laid out with care. Soon everything was ready, but while the leprechauns were there, the shoes were there. Finn was not. The leprechauns waited and waited. The sky cleared before Finn finally appeared. Sorry I'm late, he said, although he didn't mind. He didn't sound sorry at all. Finn marched up and down the street. At some shoes, he stopped to point in nourishment. Oh. At others, he simply clapped in delight. A very impressive sight, he said finally. I could see why you were proud of your treasure. Dob frowned. We're proud, he repeated. Are you not still proud of your gold? Well, you could be, said Finn, if your gold hadn't suddenly disappeared. The leprechauns turned pale. Disappeared? Such a thing was beyond imagining, still it might be best to make sure. Empty, they found the field empty. It may have been here somewhere, Dodd insisted. The leprechauns looked everywhere, behind hedges, under rocks, even in streets. All night into the dawn they searched through Dango, their lanterns flickering with fireflies in the darkness. But it did them no good. All of their fairy gold, every last coin and nugget was gone. Oh, wonder if Finn did something with them. In the morning, when the mist still laid heavily in the air, the leprechauns came pounding on Finn's door. "What have you done with our gold?" Dodd demanded. Finn shrugged. "All is not lost, only safety tucked away. I'll make you a bargain. If you promise to leave Dango and never trouble us again, I'll return your gold." It pained the leprechauns to admit defeat, but not as much as it would have hurt them to lose their gold forever. Reluctantly, they agreed on his terms. "Then we'd best be moving along," said Finn, looking up at the clearing sky. He led them back to the empty street. At that moment, the sun came out and a rainbow fell from the sky. And there, where the rainbow met the grass, a great pile of gold suddenly appeared. The leprechauns stomped their feet. They moved. "You moved our gold to the end of a rainbow, and when the rainbow vanished, so did their gold." "Indeed," said Finn, "for it's a fairy gold, as you told me, and the fairies often use rainbows to move their gold about." "You tricked us," Dob said. Finn held up a hand. "The rainbow is back, so is your treasure. Take it in peace while the rainbow holds. And remember our bargain." Finn then went back home to his mother, who, after a good night's sleep, baked him some loaves of soda bread. Then even he could eat. As for the leprechauns, they heard grumbling at times about how Finn had overwritten them. Yet they were secretly pleased as well, for if the truth be told, they kept the gold at the end of the rainbow ever since. Well, the end. Well, it looks like they get to keep their gold and they have to leave the town. Cool story, huh? Have any of you ever met a leprechaun? Let me know with a thumbs up if you ever met a leprechaun. Just curious. Well, everybody, Hope all of you enjoyed this book reading, and if you did, give it a big thumbs up, share it, and if you're new and you came along this book reading, hit that red subscribe button down below and subscribe to my channel. But until my next book reading, they call me Mr. Bookman. And this book reading's over. Have a happy St. Patty's Day, people, and take care.